how's it going on, everybody? It's your boy Incog back at it again with another league, of course. As SBU comes to a close, we will be opening a new chapter in our draft league career by taking on the YCL, the YouTubers Challenger League, I think that's what it stands for. And this is season 5, I believe. Perhaps? Probably. It's either season 5 or season 4. Regardless, we have a very, very interesting team on your screen here. And I'm not gonna lie to you, I had the 8th overall pick, and I got all of these Pokemon. Yeah. So YCL is a league that I think is one of the few leagues, like, similar to how whenever I run leagues has item clause. I think they're doing level 50 this season instead of level 100. And I think that's really it, just general clauses and everything else. It looks like it's going to be a fun time. Shout out to Sen, I think his name is, for inviting me. He's a really cool guy. And we have like 24 coaches that were split up into 2 drafts, so 12 and 12. And then, yeah. Then we got our divisions, and I fight a lot of tough people in mine. I think it's a 5-week season and 4 weeks of playoffs, which will lead us into BDSP. I don't think this will be my last Gen 8 league, but like if it is, then I hope we can go with a bang. I don't think it will be though, because honestly, like, I'm gonna continue to do Gen 8 shit, so it doesn't really fucking matter. But regardless, our team is on screen. I'm just gonna talk about each of them. You guys can look at them and look how pretty their sprites are. But we did the 8th overall pick, like I said, and our first selection was Melmetal. For real, I think I've drafted Melmetal more times this gen, and I've grown to love this dumb nigga so much. Melmetal's great steel type, and for my team, what I wanted to do for this league was to go straight up offense, and the defense that I have will definitely be fine, but the offense I have will always complement it. At first I wanted Urshifu single strike, and that went the pick after me. I don't know how it went all the way down at 9, but I kind of wanted it, but then I think they said it might have been without Wicked Blow. I'm actually not too sure, but regardless if it is or if it isn't, I was kind of like, everybody knows that thing does, and it's kind of like easier to prep for. And especially with my kind of team, I only have like really like what, 1 resist to both its stabs, and that's like Tabu Fini, and then like Spectrier is immune, and then that's really it. I guess Crobat is like resist fighting but not dark. But regardless of what I'm saying here, Melmetal's one of those kind of Pokemon where I felt as though I needed this nigga again. And when I got my pick back, I went ahead and grabbed Tapu Fini. So I'll talk about them both because they both together mean a lot. And if you hear anything in the background, that is my washing machine. So I'm very sorry about that. I need to run it early in the morning because I have a battle soon, or like in a bit rather. But anyways, let's go ahead and talk about why I drafted these 2 in tandem with each other, because each of the pairs go hand in hand except for Stunfisk, but I mean Stunfisk is, we'll talk about Stunfisk. So with Melmetal, the real issue with Melmetal is that it gets Will-O-Wisp or just in general burned a lot of the time, and it can get deadly status by different Pokemon. So with me grabbing Tapu Fini, I grabbed the Pokemon that should allow us to not worry about status all that much. Like, I'm not gonna openly switch in front of like Rotoms or anything with Tapu Fini or something, but like if Rotom is really, really feeling cheeky, then they will go for Will-O-Wisp. But like 9 times out of 10 they're going for Volt Switch. So then I could go into Tapu Fini, I guess, if they're really hard going, like hard pressed to go for Will-O-Wisp. But other than that, really, I feel as though Tapu Fini is a really good combination with this because they don't share any weaknesses as far as I'm aware, and Melmetal's really great defensively, and Tapu Fini can be definitely really great, especially defensively, special defensively, I don't know, bro. But they work hand in hand with each other. Water Fairy with a big old steel type is really, really nice. And originally I had Salamence on this team, but I did drop it because while having a Steel Dragon Fairy Core is nice, I felt as though having Salamence might hinder what I want to do with this team, which is just weaken everything down and then break open the game with like Urshifu or Spectrier, or even any of my lower tier picks like Vanillix and Bolton. Speaking of Urshifu though, Urshifu is the Pokemon we picked up instead of Salamence. While I didn't talk too much about Melmetal, Tapu Fini as much as I'd like to, they complement each other really, really well to a point where I know what they're gonna do, and you guys pretty much know what they're gonna do. Tapu Fini, well, it's not my favorite Tapu in the world. That would be Bulu. Definitely work together really well. And Urshifu Rapid Strike does a lot of good work with those two. So it's not Single Strike, even though their sprites are the same, and I wish they fucking weren't. But it is Rapid Strike, so it has Surging Strikes. It has the Water, it's Fighting type, obviously. And moreover, I like Urshifu Rapid Strike just because I feel like people underrate it so much. Like when you look at this tier listing, it has everyone in order of what tiers they were, not in order of how I drafted them. Urshifu Rapid Strike is A, and so is Spectrier, and I was like, I think Spectrier could be S, but that's just me. But like Urshifu Rapid Strike and Spectrier back to back, like, I'm not gonna hold you here. I had Salamence originally over Urshifu Rapid Strike, like I said, but then I dropped it for this Pokemon, and I was like, why is this Pokemon still on the board? Why did these niggas allow me to go pick up this Pokemon? And why did I even get Spectrier around my 4th round pick? Like, that was crazy to me. But the really interesting part is that I got Snorlax afterwards. But regardless, Urshifu Rapid Strike and Spectrier work really, like, odd together. I would say that more so that they're both really good offensive breakers, and rather that Spectrier can also just hide behind a sub, Will-O-Wisp things, and hex them down, and then just switch out when necessary into like Melmetal Tapu Fini. And then Urshifu can come in after somebody dies and literally just clean up after them. Like, I like that Urshifu's on this team. It gives me some priority that I didn't originally have with my first 2 picks, and then also Spectrier. And additionally, Urshifu is definitely going to be a fun time with Surging Strikes. I know I can sense it. I'm not going to fight a rain team during the regular season, I don't think, but I can sense somebody probably has one. So I'm very, very glad to have this Pokemon for good old crits in the rain. And Urshifu really does force people to have, like, you know, a Pokemon that can get crit like Battle Armor or Shell Armor, for instance, while Spectrier forces them to also have a normal type, or just something that won't take a lot to Ghost moves at all. So having these two in tandem, they're breakers for different reasons, and it's not like Urshifu is going to win me the game all of a sudden. It's more like Urshifu and Spectrier will weaken things so Melmetal or something else can win me the game, and I really like these 4 as my top 4 picks because they work so well together. It's not like I'm going to force Urshifu or Spectrier into a 1v6 situation. It's more like they're all going to try and come together and whittle down the team so that, like, Urshifu or even Spectrier speed stat will make a whole crazy difference in the fact that it's base 130 and that same speed as Tapu Koko, which means you're generally outspeeding everything else, barring Scarfers, and Spectrier can just start taking down things in succession after they've been whittled down by my other 3 Pokemon. But less about those, more about my next ones. Snorlax, Crobat. Snorlax was because I honestly wanted to grab Scrafty, but I was on the fence about it the entire time, so I went with Snorlax. Here's why. You always want to make sure you grab a bulky normal in case your opponent is feeling really cheeky about how they can beat Spectrier 1v1, or what Pokemon they can grab in order to really wall it. So I grabbed one of the best ones for that, and that is Snorlax. I've never drafted Snorlax in Gen 8. I've drafted Snorlax probably in Gen 7, but never Gen 8. And it's kind of the same reasoning as Melmetal with Tapu Fini. Like, deadass Snorlax can't get burned or anything, and if I run immunity, I can't get toxic anyway. So it's a really, really fun Pokemon to have. But I also recognize that Snorlax is definitely going to be one of the kind of Pokemon that could definitely get set up on, but you still have to be, like, very wary of what it can do. Having the ability of Thick Fat really does help out if we're going to get, like, nearly swept by Freeze Dry on Tapu Fini and Urshifu Rapid Strike. Snorlax is there to take the hit and eat it very nicely. And if we're in Misty Terrain, we can never be frozen, so it's a really nice Pokemon to have as a defensive, bulky normal. Additionally, it's a really good offensive Pokemon. I could definitely see myself running a few crazy sets. Maybe no curse sets, mostly because Darkest Lariat exists and so does Haze. And while I do have, you know, ways of getting to that point where I can run curse, I don't think I will this season. At least in my opinion, I won't, but we'll see how it goes. Crobat is just there for defog. I had Salamence, like I said earlier, and it was gonna be dual defog, but then I was like, do I need that? And then I said, maybe, maybe not. We'll see how it goes. And not having a grounded poison is low-key kind of trash right now, but we'll worry about it when we get there, of course. But Crobat definitely would defog. It does get rid of our own terrain though, so that's kind of cringe. But like, if I'm being real with y'all, I'm not in love with the idea of using Crobat, but I do think having a decent, fast defogger is also really, really important in case, like, I don't really care for defogging away my terrain, then defogging with Crobat is definitely going to be better. It's just more about how I play around it, because I know hazards are going to be a bitch to deal with, especially with my kind of team, and especially because this league has item claws, so you can't run heavy duty boots all over the place. So it's definitely going to be something to deal with, but I definitely think that Crobat is a great poison, it's a great flying type, and it's definitely a great hazard remover. It's just more so setting up certain ways to get Crobat in just to defog and then letting it die, or just you turning out. It's definitely going to be one of those kind of Pokemon that's going to be more passive as the season goes on, but we'll see what happens, honestly. But moving on to another Pokemon, or another two Pokemon that I really wanted to draft, Vanillux and Bolton. Vanillux is in that camp of, this is one of my favorite Pokemon of all time, so I wanted to draft it, and then also, it's pretty good. Originally, I didn't have plans to draft Vanillux, but I needed an Ice type at the very minimum because, you know, if I wanted to run like Autotomize or just like Choice Scarf in general, at least I have something that can just set up Hail and then Blizzard everything down. Or it can use Freeze Dry. Or it can just explode on certain mons that want to come in as counters. Like, this Pokemon is a very fun Pokemon. I think Vanillux is definitely not slept on, but it's definitely like a low-key threat in my opinion. The fact that it was C tier, I thought it was D tier, but apparently it was C tier, so I'm very proud that it was C tier. But with Vanillux here, I don't think it gets any type of hazards. I really don't think it should. If it does, that'd be interesting to know. Hold on. I don't think it does either, no. It gets like screens and like Aurora Veil, obviously. I don't think it gets spikes. No, it doesn't get spikes. Okay, thank God. But it doesn't really do too much crazy on my team, but deadass, I do love it for the fact that it is a really, really fun Pokemon. Like, you gotta worry about Vanillux in some games and in some regard, because an Autotomized Vanillux could definitely open up the gap between, oh, this looks like a win, and now it's like, oh, this for sure is a win. And also having the priority on Ice Shard is really, really good for me, because as you guys know, Incog syndrome happens to me all the fucking time, no matter if it's in a free-for-all or not. I have failure to kill things. And speaking of faster Pokemon that can actually kill things, Bolton. Bolton is one of those kind of, like, iffy Pokemon, but I wanted a fast electric, but not really. I was really just looking for a fast Pokemon, if I'm being real. Like, I didn't really prioritize an electric, which is why I have Stunfisk and Bolton, which we will talk about. Excuse me. Good lord. Bolton is just fast. Competitive can be very, very dangerous, as I learned in one of my matches, in RODL, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's an RODL. It's either that or PBAL, where I intimidated a Bolton, and it got a boost, and it had Hyper Voice, and it was doing crazy damage. And, yeah, no, I don't want to deal with that shit. Also, Strong Jaw is pretty good. Only bad part, Bolton doesn't get Ice Fang. Hashtag give Bolton Ice Fang in the comments. Please, please, please. I know you niggas believe in that movement. I do. But please give that nigga Ice Fang. Like, just do like a little small update and be like, here, he has Ice Fang now, nigga, damn, leave us alone. But it's a fine enough Pokemon. It doesn't break open the game so much as it just kind of hurts. Strong Jaw is a great ability, Competitive is a great ability, and against Intimidate Mons, I'm really just going to sit there and be like Hyper Voice plus Ratio, so we'll see how that goes. Like I said, it's not really meant to break open a game, but it is going to be a fun Pokemon, and if I see Tapu Koko and a team that doesn't like Rising Voltage, then, well, Bolton's going to have a little bit of a fun time, we'll see. Trevenant and Drinkloak, and we'll keep Stunfisk in this one, because honestly, talking about Stunfisk by itself, doesn't really make sense. Alright, Trevenant, Trick Room. That was the primary reason. I wanted a grass type, and I wanted... Did my voice crack? Jesus. I wanted a grass type, and I wanted a Pokemon that could also set up Trick Room. Trevenant fit both of those. Unfortunately, it is Grass Ghost. Not really a problem being Grass Ghost. It's more so that now I have Dual Ghost, and that's not terrible, but in a metagame where Ghost and Dark types thrive, it's not the greatest of all time, so I need to be very careful about bringing Trevenant and Spectrier to the same match. And speaking of another Ghost, Drinkloak! So it's like, I have 3 Ghosts on this damn team. Why the fuck would why did I do this? The main part about Trevenant was Trick Room. The main part about Drinkloak was a faster dragon that also just was kind of here. He's just kind of here to vibe. If I bring Drinkloak, it'll definitely be a funnier set than anything else. Dracelo does not have impressive stats, like 80 attack, 60 special attack, and then like 102 speed or something of that sort. I think those are the stats. And like if I set up a Dragon Dance, it's not like Outrage or Phantom Force are gonna really break open the damn game. But if there's a situation where this Pokemon could actually thrive in some regards, that'd be cool. Or if I fight off against like a guy using normal types a lot, or like a normal type sweeper, Dracloak is right there, and I could just like protect and then disable whatever attack they're gonna go for, and then just be sitting there like, what you gonna do? Well, what you gonna do? You know what I'm saying? But yeah, mostly Trevenant for Trick Room, and I don't see myself bringing it every week, but like Trevenant plus Snorlax is definitely gonna be a deadly combination, because Trevenant's not one of those kind of Pokemon that's gonna live for very long either. But if Trevenant's gonna be a Trick Room sweeper, this nigga's gonna hit so hard. I mean, like, he doesn't have the greatest stats, but one dead attack is nothing to scoff at, you know what I mean? Like, Poltergeist coming off of that, shit, let me tell y'all. And then also like Woodhammer, like Drain Punch, you get this guy sending a Power Up Punch, and then Poltergeist, things are not living for very long. And now my washer is making a lot more noise. Regardless of that, Dracloak is kind of just there vibing, so is Trevenant, but you might see more Trevenant than Dracloak, who knows. Stunfisk was mostly because, look at my team and look at my hazards. There's barely any. Stunfisk gets rocks. So I really wanted a low-key rocker that I may or may not bring, but Stunfisk being F tier, where Dracloak is, completely a steal. You had Stunfisk Galar in E, but not regular Stunfisk. I would prefer regular Stunfisk over Stunfisk Galar if I'm just being me. The coverage this thing gets and the amount, oh man, this thing is high-key slept on. 109 at HP, 84 defense and 99 special defense. Respectfully, I get that it's a ground electric, but word? This thing crazy, bro. I think I really got me a nice little sleeper rocker, and it's a really good ground and electric type. And at least for me, for a team that can be very weak to electric at times, Stunfisk definitely prevents me from getting stroked by like Tapu Koko and like Zero Aura at the very minimum. Because at least Stunfisk can sit there and be like, what up, bitch? And then just start chilling, you know what I mean? So, I like Stunfisk. I really fucking do. Not as much as the next guy, but he a pretty cool nigga, you know what I'm saying? So, he pretty cool. Regardless, though, this team is probably one of my favorite teams of all time that I've built. And, honestly, there's not really much else to say. I was gonna have face cam for this, but I look like a fucking mess and I just shaved as of recording this. So, no. But maybe, just maybe for battles, I will have face cam. Leave a comment down below if you really think I should have face cam. It's a 5-week season, as I said, 4 weeks of playoffs, so we will have a definite fun time. Hopefully we can get a W in this league, and hopefully we can actually try and win the entire thing. I think this team, while it has its weaknesses and flaws, is definitely a team where I wasn't expecting to get the Mons that I got, and I'm very glad that I am going to take advantage of the higher tier picks, and even my low tier picks are still really good altogether. My only really big thing is that I really wanted a fire type, but there weren't a lot of good fire types in exchange for what I had. Like, yeah, I could have picked up like Carkol for Dracloak, but I was like, I like Dracloak, and while he may never come to a game, you never know. You know what I mean? Like, this could be a Pokemon that could be a low-key threat. And I heard from the YCL guys, they're talking about how NFE Pokemon are definitely dangerous in their league sometimes, you know? I remember someone was talking about Gloom a lot. So maybe Dracloak could be the new Gloom, I don't know. But regardless, guys, that's going to do it from me. And, you know, I'm your coach of the Boston Cynicals IncogM. So with that being said, leave a like, comment down below, and tell me, what do you think our record might be for this short season? And will we make playoffs? Can we win this entire thing with this team if I play correctly and play smartly? You guys let me know down below. But for me and everyone here at IncogM, I'll talk to you guys next time.